everybody, my name is Kai, this is Kai the CEO. Welcome to MEML, a early development public beta software tool that I just wanted to show off because even in its current very early pre-alpha with like very few of the actual features we want even implemented, especially even for the alpha version. But in its current state, I felt like it was so good and so decent that it was just impossible not to make a tutorial about it because I'm so proud of the work me and the people who have helped build this project, including my friend Tricky PR, or as it's ran under the Fushra organization, who built this very early version of MEML as I'm working on other tools to get the perfect dream MEML that I've always wanted. But until I do that, we have the TypeScript-based version from the Fushra team, who have been oh so kind. But we just need an empty folder, open in Visual Studio Code, and let's say something real quick. This runs on all operating systems, all text editors, as long as you can install the latest version of Node.js, whether LTS or not, and as long as you are able to use NPM, have internet access or USB that you can transfer MEML through, and as long as you understand this is not a web development tutorial and MEML is still public beta tutorial, like public beta quality. Just, you gotta remember all that. That's just stuff you need to know, because this is a bare bones project that does the bare bones basics, but the bare bones basics is enough to create most websites for most people. We will be simply running an index.html file, not HTML, MEML file. This will do all of the HTML development for us, but we do need to run npm no global command. Do not make this globally accessible unless you're okay with that. So npm MEML. This command will simply just install the MEML compiler, as we call it, MEML-C. And it has a couple of dependencies and a bunch of other stuff, but that's because TypeScript mostly. So, to write a basic MEML program, you need to basically remember that this is, in part, just Lisp. Now, there were a couple things, we might run into a couple errors here and there because, again, early access, public development language that has some issues, but this is just a very basic tutorial to go through, like a very quick overview of MEML itself. So, what we need to do is just simply create this. This is a very basic MEML program, and of course you can do this, you can do this, you can do that, you heathen. But I personally prefer the syntax being like this because it just looks kind of nice. So if we just save that real quick, and because we've written a website which would normally take several lines of code, and we'll show you how many lines of code it will normally take in just a sec. So if we run, npx, because we're running through the Node package management systems execution tool at the moment. We don't have our own tool for that just yet. We're still working on it. But npx mlc -- file index.meml. I am so used to writing HTML files that I have forgotten the file extension to this so many times. It is beautiful how much work has gone into this, and we now have a MEML tool. So, you'll see this. Don't get scared, it's just minified because that was just the quickest way to do it. However, I am pushing for further minification. But if we turn this into a normal HTML script, we would see we turned 9 lines of HTML code into 2. And I think that's the beauty. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. I'm going to Control C. So I think that's the beauty of MEML. We literally turn what would be 9 lines of code into what could be 1. If you were a masochist, you could literally write an entire website on 1 line of code. Something that is possible in HTML, yes. But remember, we're turning what is quite literally this into this painful mess. So, while something like this, if you're developing like a billion of these every day, MEML is going to not save you too much time. But this isn't why people are doing web development, now is it? So if we open in the browser, and it might take a minute, my extension can be a little slow, but here it is. We have a MEML website, a true MEML website. Now, of course, we also have test.meml.fivnext. What should be .code. My bad. I don't know why I had it like that, but we have this, which is a fully functioning MEML website in Bulma and MEML. Those are the only tools used to make this. So for now, we'll just minimize it. We'll get back to that in a minute. Now, let's delete this and talk about classes, attributes, importation real quick. So when you're making a new MEML project, and like any web development language, especially HTML, you need attributes, you need all of that. And while this just does simplify a line of code into a longer line of code, you also will need Bulma. We'll be using Bulma as our example today because I am very comfortable with using Bulma. I have written every website I've ever developed in Bulma. It is a fantastic framework. Highly recommend it. This is not a Bulma tutorial. Don't take this as a Bulma tutorial. We are literally doing one basic thing. Thank you. But to make a Bulma site, we simply just need to do this again. You know, the head, the title, the basic stuff. However, we need to import the CSS file. So, well, let's simply import, quote, and then you need to grab the link, which I have right over here in a separate page. And so we now have MEML. Oh, we have this. Quick note, if you want to have this syntax highlighting, we do have a couple of MEML extensions. We'll link the one that is currently in development in the link down below, because while I have made one in the past, it is no longer actively developed. This has kind of died off and been abandoned, mostly due to the fact that the new one is so much better, and it was developed by someone else. So, but the new one does have to be installed manually. So. Now, if we go to body, we will simply just need to write a simple div. We're really going to just keep this simple. So, div class, because attributes. Now, to write a class is basically no different from HTML. Section is large, and we will continue from there. So, what we need to do now is grab, of course, a p class equals notification tag that has the text hello. And you know what, for good measure, has text centered. So, centered, wow. Centered. Okay. So now that we have this will turn this into this. You might notice there is currently no form of actual dealing with the imports, but Well, no actual viewport stuff. That is coming in a later version. So, let's real quickly reload our website, and we'll see we literally did exactly what we set out to do. Everything works perfectly. You can use Bulma with it, and you can actually use pretty much all of Bulma, including tiles. So if you need Bulma, you need to make a website, MEML in its current form will work for you. Thank you all for watching this short form tutorial. I know this was very impromptu, but I just wanted to do this real quick. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good one, and goodbye.